Welcome to In the House here on FM 96.5 News Talk WDBO with Ken and Jared. This is your opportunity to talk to, well, the guys about your projects or talk to about your home. Maybe maybe all this rain has exposed a roof leak or some other problem that you're facing, and, well, they can certainly help you out. They are not only knowledgeable about roofs, but they are knowledgeable about all things home repair related. They're incredible, and you can take advantage of that incredibleness now simply by calling 407-297-9696. Also toll free, you can reach us at 855-297-9696. Time now to go in the house with Ken and Jared.
Incredible or uncredible?
No, yes, I said incredible.
Okay, got it.
Incredible, Jared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey there, welcome to the show. It's called In the House, all about home improvement and construction. If you have a project that you're working on and you want to know how to get to the next step, or if there's something in the house that you need to fix, you want to know how to get started with it, this is the place to be. Whether it's a structural question, electrical, plumbing, anything having to do with home improvement, you can give us a call. Number's 407-297-9696. Or toll free 855-297-9696. My name is Jared Mellick. Sitting next to me is my father, Ken.
Hey, everyone. As always, Jared and I so appreciate you tuning in every Sunday between 2 and 3. And this show is all about your questions, so we're looking forward to your calls. Give us a call, 407-297-9696 or 855-297-9696. Be looking forward to your call.
For sure. Okay, so today on our talk agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about hurricane preparedness. Obviously, Isaac is out there, and so it's on the top of mind to people. And I know that many times when the storms are out, they're brewing, many people start to think about different things at their houses. And we are roofing contractors as well as building contractors, and so we can help you with making sure that your house is ready for it. Also, we've got some email questions that we're going to get to. But the best part of this show, let's face it, it's not us, it's you. And so if you want to give us a call, 407-297-9696. You know, I'm actually, my house right now, I'm in the midst of remodeling. Yep. I've got things all torn apart, and I've got, I just purchased a home. And had some roof leaks and was concerned about the storm. So I've actually torn my roof off and dried it in with a peel and stick self-adhered polymer modified underlayment, just so that way it didn't get additional leaks as these storms are coming through.
And I think everyone needs to look at, being prepared and what it is you need to be prepared. My deck was really getting old and lack of stain, so I finished up the project yesterday of getting out there and getting it all stained and prepped, making sure you have water, making sure you have gasoline, those kind of things. And then if you don't need the gas,
great,
you just pour it in your car next week or whatever. Right. It's thinking ahead, being prepared. There's nothing worse than being left standing out in the cold with no gas, no water, no food, no supplies, and no power.
Let's go to Charles in Oviedo. Charles, you're in the house. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Charles. Thanks for your call.
Yes. I was just calling to find out if you have heard of, how accurate on the Internet these programs that they have to estimate, costs. I need to have a roof replaced, and I've had, 2 contractors give me estimates, and they, it totally blew me out of the water. Mm-hmm. So, I started Googling, how much it costs to, re-roof a house, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Well, I found this program where you put in all the different parameters, number of squares, the type of shingle you want, the life, the proration, or, all the different things, and then you put in your, zip code, because, the different areas of the country are going to be different costs.
How many squares do you have?
The cost that came up on the program was like half the cost of the estimates. And I was figuring allowing for about 15, 20%, variation, but like a 50 to 60%. So now I'm not sure whether, I'm getting, unreasonably high bids or whether this program is, unrealistic.
Sure. Well, if I had to venture a guess, I would probably say the program is right as opposed to the estimates that you got. I mean, in general, what you're typically going to find is that, you know, from one contractor to another, as long as you're talking apples to apples, there's usually only a few % difference from one contractor to the other. So there are some things here in Florida that are different than other parts of the country. So what I have found is that some of those online estimating programs are great on other parts of the country, but here in Florida, first of all, we have the most stringent building codes of anywhere in the country. In order to be used in Florida, like there's shingles that can be used everywhere else in the country except here in Florida. We have specific rule requirements about the wind uplift requirements and how thick they are and all of this. And then also workers' comp rates, on roofers is higher here than almost anywhere else in the country. So those things you have to take all of those things into consideration. And a lot of times those online estimating programs I've seen are not necessarily accurate. Now, we use a third-party estimating software. It's called Xactimate. And we have actually found that one to be very accurate, but you can't, as a homeowner, you can't get that one. I mean, it's one that's specific to the trade only.
And you may also be leaving some of the code requirements out. There may be a requirement for renailing of the decking, which is a code in the state of Florida. If you have ponding water on your roof and it's currently completely flat, you've got to get a positive drainage to it by using either reframe it or going to an isonine tapered insulation. ISO board. Insulation.
So there's a lot of different factors. So if you want, Charles, we're roofing contractors. We'd be more than happy to give you an estimate, let you know whether or not it's see which one is accurate, whether it's the other contractors or whether it's the estimating software. The name of our business, Universal Roofing Contracting, our number's 407-295-7403. 407-295-7403. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of your calls and questions. You're in the house. That's right. The types of questions that we answer here is pretty much anything having to do with home improvement. Ken and I are both licensed contractors here in the state of Florida, and so every Sunday afternoon we answer your home improvement questions. Maybe you have a leaky faucet, you want to know how to fix it. Maybe you're thinking about doing a remodel, you want to know which type of remodel pays off. Maybe you have a roof concern and you want to call us and ask us about it. 407-297-9696 or toll free 855-297-9696. Let's go to Chris in Daytona Beach. Chris, you're in the house. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for your call.
Yes. Hi. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. My question is about a torch-down roof that I have. It's on an older house, and it's a flat roof.
Mm-hmm.
The two questions I have about it, there's puddling that happens on this roof, and in those puddle areas seems to be my problem leak areas.
Right.
So is there any way without, rebuilding rafters or anything, when a new roof is installed, can that be adjusted, some type of taper?
Sure, yeah. Not only can it, but typically it is required. The manufacturer of every manufacturer of torch down roofing, which for those of you out there, torch down is a commercial roofing system. It's the technical name is actually modified bitumen. It is a asphalt-based material that they add either SBS or APP modifiers to make it more flexible. Comes in rolls that are typically 3 foot wide and 33 foot long. Well, every manufacturer of torch down requires that their roof not be installed on a roof that has standing water. Now, to clarify, standing water or ponding water is defined, depending on the manufacturer, as water that sits on it for greater than 48 hours or 72 hours, depending on the manufacturer. The last time I checked, the state building code requirement says 48 hours. So if it's just a little bit of standing water and it doesn't sit for more than 48 hours, then it does not affect the long-term manufacturer's requirements, and you wouldn't be required to replace it. But if it does stand for more than 48 hours, then you would be required by code when you replace the roof to create what's called positive drainage. Now, you actually, there's a couple ways that we can do that. One you talked about, which is by, actually re-engineering the trusses or the rafters and actually creating a slope with new wood supports and plywood. That is one option. It's the most expensive option. The easiest option is through a material which is called tapered insulation. Basically what happens is when the roof is removed, the tapered insulation is installed. It's a rigid style insulation board that goes down before the roofing material does, and it just creates a little bit of slope. Not enough where you'd look at it and say, oh, wow, that's a sloped roof, but enough where it actually stops the water from, or at least restricts the water from being able to sit in certain areas.
Okay. What about how much does that add to the cost?
It pretty close to doubles it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, pretty close to doubles it. It's it comes in, X pieces, Y pieces, and it's almost like a little puzzle that you put down, and you have to, figure out which way you want the water to go, and it's a rigid insulation board that goes down first, and so it is it is an expensive process, but
it works.
But it works, and it's still less expensive than resloping or re-engineering that area. So it's
and you get insulation at the same time, which typically most flat roofs need a little bit more insulation, and you're going to end up with a 1/4 inch of fall per foot. Typically, is what you want to get after. So, great idea, and it'll work for you, Chris.
Okay, thank you very much.
Although when you replace that roof, I may recommend that you not go back with torch down. There are some other materials, commercial roofing systems that I personally like better in a lot of cases. One of those is a material called HydroStop, and it's the failure point of most flat roofing materials is at the seams, and I'm sure that's where yours is starting to fail as well. It's very rarely do you get a leak in the main body of the material. Most of the time, it's where the two different pieces come together. Well, anytime you have pre-manufactured seamed pieces, you have a possibility for water infiltration at those seams. And so with torch down, you basically have a seam every 3 feet. So there's another type of material called HydroStop, and it's actually a cool roof system. So it's not made of asphalt, so it's not as hot as what modified is. Modified is going to be 140 to 160 degrees on a 90-degree day. This cool roof system is going to be about between 4 and 8 degrees within the outside temperature. So on a 90-degree day, it's going to be 94 to 98 degrees. And it's much cooler, and then it's seamless when it's done. Basically what we do is we make it on-site to the exact dimensions that the roof is, and it's fluid applied with a polyester cloth reinforcement. So basically it's made on-site to the exact dimensions that the roof is, so when it is finished there are no seams whatsoever.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for your call, Chris. We appreciate it.
One other thing about the cool roof system is it reflects 100% of the UVA rays, doesn't absorb the heat.
Yeah, I think it's 98%. Yeah,
cool.
some number like that, but it's pretty darn close to 100.
Yeah, and it's a lot better system. Costs a little more to begin with, but a lifetime warranty too. That you just update the warranty every 10 years. So really simple to do. Yeah,
most flat roofing material, every 10 or 15 years, you got to tear it off and replace it. Yeah. And so, you're filling the landfills every 10 to 15 years. You're redoing that ISO board every 10 to 15 years. And so it's just it gets very costly. And commercial roofing systems, which is what you have to use on a flat roof, typically 2 to 3 times the price that, like something like shingles are. Right. And so you want to do it less often, not more often. And one of the advantages to a product like HydroStop is that every 10 or 15 years, all you have to do is put what's called a maintenance code on it, and then you get a brand new 10 or 15-year warranty. So
it's just by cleaning it with a pressure washer, painting a top coat on it, and there's no more tear off. Very green system, and it's going to save you money over the long haul, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And if you want more information on any of that that we talked about, we're a local roofing and remodeling company, and the office number 407-295-7403. If you want to call us now with your home improvement questions, the numbers are 407-297-9696 or toll free 855-297-9696. quickly, I want to talk about something that's coming up. We're not officially announcing it yet, but you will want to be listening over the next few weeks here at WDBO, because in the next little bit, we're going to be doing a big prize giveaway that you're going to want to hear. If you have a house that hasn't, I'll give you a little teaser. If you have a house that you own,
I do,
and you have a bathroom that is not pretty, maybe it's an ugly bathroom.
I don't have one.
Yeah, you don't have one of those. You have a bathroom,
but not
an ugly one.
Not an ugly one.
Well, if you have a bathroom that needs remodeling, we are going to be doing a ugly bathroom makeover contest over the sometime in the next month and a half. And so stay tuned to WDBO for more information about that in the next few weeks. So big prize we're going to be giving away.
Awesome.
And all you have to do is continue to listen to WDBO for the details.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah, I can tell. You can't win.
I know that.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
407-297-9696 or toll free 855-297-9696. Let's go to an email question. This is from Frank in Winter Park, and he writes, I am replacing the siding on my house. I'm thinking about using vinyl, but the last contractor I talked to had suggested wood siding. What are your thoughts?
Well, we've put on a lot of vinyl siding in some communities. That's what's required, and we've done a lot of that, especially when it was time to replace siding in some communities that had the old paper kind of siding, defective stuff, and it is a good. There's good vinyl siding that does a great job and looks good for years and years and years. But my preference personally is a wood, or now the new Hardy.
I personally would probably not use either one of those, either the vinyl or the wood. I'd probably go to Hardy. It's a cement board siding, much more durable. One of the disadvantages previously with either wood or Hardy is that you had to add that extra step of painting it that vinyl doesn't have. But now Hardy actually has what they call their Color Plus technology, where it actually comes with a pre-painted surface to it, which has a 15-year non-fading warranty from the manufacturer, from Hardy. So I would probably go to that option over the wood or the vinyl.
Yeah, it's a good product.
Yeah, we install a bunch of it, and so the Hardy is probably what I would do. So. Thanks, Frank, for that email question. If you're thinking about replacing your siding, we'd be honored to give you an estimate for that. We're a siding contractor, and we do siding replacement all the time. Again, the name of the business, Universal Roofing Contracting, 407-295-7403. All right, let's go to Kenny.
Yes, I'm right here.
No, not you.
Oh.
Kenny in Apopka, the caller Kenny, not the host here, Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny. Thanks for your call, bro.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
I feel like a brother.
I was calling. I missed half of the part that you guys were speaking about the roof. I was trying to inquire, like, how much is a typical roof to redo it?
Do you know how large of a home is it that you have?
It's a 4-bedroom home.
How many square feet?
Oh wow, I don't even know. It's my grandmother's home that I'm trying to help her with.
Sure. Yeah, it's really difficult to say without actually taking a look at it. But the roofing is crazy expensive. That's for sure. I mean, the average roof today is between $10,000 and $15,000. I mean, that's what the average is.
But we do some that are $6,000 and $7,000 and $8,000 and
there's
20
and there's a roof that we just did that was $180,000 on a house. Now that was a crazy big house. I mean, that was a gorgeous house that I wish that I lived in.
This is a house that was made in the 70s and everything like that. And I was just trying to.
What part of town are you in?
It's in Apopka.
Yeah,
it's an older house that was, I want to say like around the 70s, 4-bedroom house.
It's probably one of those $8,000 or $10,000 roofs.
Yeah, but it's tough to say. But if you call the office during the week, we'd be more than happy to come out and take a look at it. We give free estimates. And again, the name of the business, Universal Roofing Contracting, 407-295-7403. Thanks, Kenny. We appreciate your call for sure.
Another thing about calling us out and having us look at it, give you the free estimate, but we'll also do an inspection on it for you. Tell you whether you need a new roof, whether you got any problems or anything that you need to be prepared for the next hurricane or wind that comes through or whatever.
Yeah, many times we go out and it's fine. You don't even need anything. So, all right, let's go to Donald in Lake Mary. Donald, go ahead.
Hey, Donald, thanks for your call.
We're doing a kitchen remodel in our house, and I decided that we wanted to put in a more professional range hood and actually vent out the range exhaust.
Smart.
And I bought a range insert, a 28-inch blower, and had it installed and followed all the specifications with an 8-inch duct. 8-inch duct goes to the wall and up to the ceiling and then out to the roof.
Right.
The problem is this new blower, which goes up to 1,000 CFMs.
Nice.
When you get past level 3, 4, 5, 6, it really starts screaming.
Right. It's going to blow the vent off the roof.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was about 2 seconds from yanking it down and sending it back to Utah where I bought it and all this other stuff. When all of a sudden I said, why don't we just take the vent cap off, the air that flows to the outside. And we took it off and we turned it on high, and it was just humming along quiet as can be. So I guess the question is, do I need to go to a higher diameter? It seems as though it's building up too much air turbulence. It's not letting enough escape, which is forcing back down into the motor.
Right.
But I've had a contractor come in and say, well, I can put a 10-inch.
No. That's a wrong.
I can't guarantee that that's going to work.
No. So hold on, Donald. We got to take a quick break. Great question. And guess what? I've got the answer for you. But we got to take a quick break here really quick to pay some bills. If you have a question for us, 407-297-9696. Toll free 855-297-9696. You're in the house. We'll be right back. All right, so before the break, we were talking to Donald in Lake Mary. Donald, welcome back to the show. Let me paraphrase Donald's question really quick. He had his kitchen remodeled, decided to install an exhaust fan that actually moved some air instead of just making noise. Well, the problem is that when he installed that new exhaust fan, it wasn't working properly, too loud because the actual hole on the roof is too small. Did I paraphrase that question all right, Donald?
If that's the problem, I'm not sure what the problem is.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. One is that typically, if it was only a 4-inch before, then it's typically just a 4-inch gooseneck that is on the roof. Your roofer had talked about just replacing it with a 10-inch. A 10-inch gooseneck is one that is used for exhaust fans for bathrooms and things like that, and they're fine if you have an exhaust fan that's not moving a whole lot of air. But when you have a really good exhaust fan, one that's actually going to, move some good quality air through it, then those 10-inch goosenecks are not enough. They actually have a little scoop on the top of them that can actually restrict that airflow as it comes through. And so it just won't allow that fan to actually work properly, and then it ends up getting back pressure underneath of it. So it just doesn't work properly. So here's what you need to do is you need to replace the exhaust vent, the one actually attached to the roof, with one that is designed to move a lot of air. The one that I actually like is made by a company called Lomanco, Lomanco, Lomanco. And they have a model called the 135, Lomanco 135. And instead of just having an exhaust on one side, the lower side, like what the this 10-inch gooseneck vent does, it actually allows the air. It's a circular vent, so that way it allows the air out of all sides of it. So it really allows some hot air some air to move through it. So you can have your roofer do it, or if you want a roofer that actually knows some stuff, then you can give us a call. It's name of our business is Universal Roof and Contracting, and it's 407-295-7403. And we could guarantee that this will actually allow the hot air to escape out.
Yep.
That's super. That's great. What does a Lamenco 135 usually run?
They're cheap. It's the actual vent is maybe $75-$100. And then, more of the cost is the install, though. Yeah. But it's still, even with that, it's a few $100 to install it. We're not talking about huge money. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, a few $100 is a few $100, and when I'm spending money, a few $100 is a lot.
It'll work right for you, Don.
But when you spend, $100 on something that doesn't, or do you spend a few hundred on something that does? So.
Correct. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks, bud.
Thanks for tuning in.